Hey, welcome to the stream, guys, and welcome to another video. Welcome to the continuation and almost completion of this guy right here, the Meng F-18E, doing up as Maverick's F-18 from the movie Top Gun Maverick. So let's get started. Alright, so as you can see, we're nice and dirty on the bottom and not quite as dirty on the top, but we are, right? That's what we did last time. And in fact, I got that all cleaned up and done. I did manage to break off one of our little things here over on this side, and I don't know where it went because I didn't realize it happened when it happened, and it's gone. I've looked everywhere and I can't find it. So, oh well, that's the way it happens sometimes. And that's why you don't put these little tiny things on until you're kind of finished working on all the painting and weathering sometimes, right? It happens. So, we're going to continue because we're reaching the end. I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel with this guy. So, I have put in one of the engines, and we're ready to put in the second one. Now, like I said before, when we first put this test fitting, it's pretty tight fit. I don't actually want to push this in because then I'll have a heck of a time trying to get it back out, because that's how tight of a fit it is. But we can, as I've mentioned before, you put some glue on there and suddenly this thing will slide in. Just slather some glue on there and she's going to be good to go. I like to give it a twist to make sure glue gets on all the surfaces, and look at that. It's actually a little bit tight still. There we go. Last little shove. Second engine done. They match up and they line up perfectly. It's really nice. A nice job. As you noticed, I've shoved a piece of foam in here so that I can rest it on the top without damaging anything in the cockpit area. I gotta turn that music down, that's a little bit annoying. Okay. Alright. Thanks, Orion. So, we kind of are backtracking, right? Like I said, we have to go back now that all the weathering's done. We got to put all these parts in that we basically held off until now, engines being one of them. I just realized now that if I put these elevators on, I haven't weathered these guys yet, and it kind of looks out of place. A nice super clean wing on there doesn't look quite right. So I've got to do the weathering on those. That's not going to be take me 5 minutes to do that. So landing gear, how about that? Landing gear is supposed to be next. We've held off on the landing gear till now. Even broke a piece off by accident. It just came off right away. That's this little guy right here, which we will get to when we got to put those bay doors back on. Bay doors in. So we're going to start with our nose landing gear, this guy here, and actually I don't need this anymore, so we'll just do this. Gone. Hey, Mega Boy, nice to see you again. Got this guy going in, so he's got to go in just like this and line up like that. This being, of course, one piece, so we don't have to worry about any alignment issues. So we can just put some glue on the tabs and get her in there. Might be a little bit tight fit because of the paint on there, but that's kind of typical. You can always just maybe take a file off some of that paint on those location tabs, just to give it back to its original thickness. I find this isn't necessary usually, because, well, like you saw with the engine, it kind of acts as a lubricant before it dries. Just give that a little bit of a shove. There we go. And there we go. Okay, that's the main one. Now, we got our bay doors to put in. And those are all painted up and ready. Been waiting on the sprue for quite a while. I'm sure they're getting impatient by now. So we need C10 and 11. And we've got C24 to go in there. Let me grab my nippers here. So C10 and 11 right there. We'll see if there's anything that I forgot to paint. There's 10. And 11. I need C24. C24. Yes, this guy right here. This guy here. And then we're going to need C45 and 57. Here's 57. We need 45. Where are you? 45 right there. Okay, let's put this down over here for now. Clean up our little marks. You guys want to see this a little better? I'm going to change my glasses actually, so that I can see a little better. Okay, let's get our overhead cam here. See this a little better. It's unusual doing a weekday daytime stream, but I had the afternoon off work, so I figured I'd take the opportunity and try and get this finished up today. As much as this has been a fun build, I have enjoyed it. It gets to that point where, you know, it's just, it'd be nice if it was finished. I want to move on to my next project. And seeing, once you start seeing that it's almost done, you kind of want to get it done, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you know, I wasn't in a hurry to finish it, but now that I see that it's getting there, I kind of want to get her done. Get her done. Yeah. Okay, so let's turn this around and face it the same direction that it has it in the instructions, so I don't get any confusion. Okay, so first of all, this guy here is going to go on the back of that there, and those two little tabs. That's easy enough. There's that one. That one. Okay. Just simply line it up and you're done. Just like that. Okay. Next, we have our doors that are going up front here. So, we have C10. It's going to go in along here, and we have this guy that needs to line up with that little dot and on the edge there. So let's see how that's going to line up in there. It's supposed to go like that. And it's going to go on here like this. So in theory, I could glue that on there just like that first. I always find these bay doors a little bit tricky to do on every airplane. It's always just a little bit of a challenge to get the alignment done right. Now these three that are on here, they go into little holes, which, you know, if we had this not in there yet, would be a little bit easier to do. But it is what it is. Let's move this back and put some glue on these little tips. And on that guy there. Okay. Let's see how we do. This is always a challenge, especially when you've got the landing gear already in there. I think I have it lined up. I seem to have it lined up. This came off and refuses to go where it's supposed to. There's actually, what they don't really show you in here is there's a little peg that it's supposed to go on to. But the hole that's in the side here for the peg is a little too small. It's just a little too tight. So I'm going to open it up just a hair so it will go better. And that should fix that problem. Okay, so let's reapply some glue on this. Yeah, there we go, that's better. Much better. Okay, we're set up. So the next piece, we're going to do C45, which is the bigger one on the same side here. And that's just very simply these two line up here, and then we've got the one that's all, that arm that's already in there lines up in that little slot. So that's easy enough, at least in theory. Lined up in their holes first. And then bring it close to our little friend. Our little friend doesn't quite want to line up. Okay, there we go. We're lined up. Just going to add some of this thin just to make sure we are good. Sometimes it takes that extra bit when you, especially when you've been moving it around trying to line it up. I find this stuff doesn't like a lot of movement when you are trying to fit the piece in. So next we have this guy, and this guy's going to go on this side, and he has the little broken off piece that's supposed to be attached. Okay, so I'm basically just going to attach it on here ahead of time because that's where it goes, and then we'll put them on. Let's turn this around. There we go. And now we'll put glue on our hooks. And get him lined up. There we go. And to keep him happy with his new home, do that. Just make sure that stays. There we go. Okay. That is our front landing gear, or nose landing gear as I call it in the book. This page is done. Done. Okay. Next, we have our main landing gear that we have assembled. These guys, they're assembled. They're ready to go. Oh, and we have our pod to put on. We got to put this on. He goes right here. I'm going to put him on now. It's right here and here, just in case. Just like that. That's where his home is. Just like that. Nice and solid. And you see, I'm going to leave it that slightly different color because I want that to pop. I want it to jump out at you and say, hey, this is a totally different thing. And that's the whole purpose of that. Okay. So landing gear sitting like this, or I mean the plane sitting like this, we need our first piece of gear. It's going to be this one. It's going to go in here. Okay. But to put that guy in there, we need D22. So I gotta grab my D. Where's my D? Now, I wasn't expecting something off the D tree. So, right here, I gotta paint that white. So let's have a look what else we need. So we need those white. So let me grab my white. This guy here. gonna have to get it off of this other one too. That's him right there. So I need both of those to be painted white. So let's get set up here. Okay. Okay, so those are white. What else I need here? I need C41 and 27. There's 27. I got a feeling this is supposed to be white also. I have it painted just in the regular gray color. What else did I need? 41. Over here, 41. There's 41. Okay. All right, so I have to take a look at this and see how this is supposed to go on there. So I might have to paint this side white and do the red outline on it. I'm not sure. What are we doing here? It looks like this is supposed to go down onto this little tab here. Let's get this out of the way. Looks like it goes down on that tab like this. It's interesting. Goes like that. Goes like that. Unfortunately, we're super clean and it doesn't look right. So we're gonna have to dirty it up. Fortunately, because it sits like this, you're not gonna see the underside, so I don't need to paint that. It's interesting, like, would that flap open? Or I don't think I've ever seen that before. But then again, this is the first time I've built an F-18 by Meng, so I'm not sure. The last one I built, I believe, was, oh, what brand was it now? I think it's Italiary, and it's definitely not as detailed as this. So I got to do some weathering on it. So that means getting out our gray-blue camouflage that we used last time, put a little dot on it and make it a little grimy, because of reasons. So doink. Just like that. Might as well do it to the other one while I'm at it. While it's on here, because I gotta make it match. Okay. That's the way that goes. So, what else did I have to make dirty? There was something else. There was something else I needed to make dirty, and I already forgot what that was. I just realized this bay door is not lined up. This one is okay. And it needs it to be, it looks a little too clean. So, there we go. Oh, it was these guys I need to clean up, or I need to make dirty. I need to do that. Well, I've got the brush ready for it. I might as well. I'm going to run into the same problem on this one as I did the rest of the underside of the plane, because I didn't have a gloss coat. I only did the gloss coat on the side that has the decals on it. On the rest of it is it's just flat, or semi-gloss really. But it's, yeah, so I'm going to run into the same problems. I'm going to have to reactivate it and all that fun stuff to get it to clean up proper and to blend properly underneath. But I don't have to worry about that for the top. Okay, so holding on to this, try and smear this a bit. You see, that's the thing, it didn't, yeah, it's dirty, but it's not nice. It's dirty, but it's not nice. So I just need to smear it around a little bit. To make it a little bit dirty, just like the underside. And I'll do the same on this one. This guy here. Just kind of once you get it reactivated, it does pretty good, and it can clean it up literally as much or as little as I want. I think that's good enough. And there was this guy over here I redid. I'm going very light on it because I don't want to break the glue loose like I just did. Fuck. Darn it. Might as well pull it out of there now. That's why you need to do the weathering beforehand. But that's okay. Lessons learned, right? It's just all about learning. Put him back in his home. Make sure he's lined up. Yep. Okay. All right. Okay, back to this thing. This guy's got to go down in that little spot there. So, these little tabs on the side, they're already built into it. They line up. And then it goes on to that tab that's right there. It sits just like that. Just like that. Of course, if you push down too hard, he stops lining up. Okay, so there's that. I might as well do the other side now, since I know how that's supposed to fit. Okay, so here's the other side. Let's clean it up here. Same deal. Just like that. Okay, same deal. All right, next we have our struts that need to go on there. Okay, and so let's get those. We have this one already. We got to get our D. We got to get this one off the D. Okay, there he is. And we're going to have a look how these are going to go in. So, this one that I just took off is going to go in the bottom. It's not super evident exactly where it goes, but this definitely slots in right there. Whoops. How tight is our fit? It's pretty tight. Okay, it's a little too tight for my liking, so I am going to, I don't want to use the knife. I'm just going to shave off a bit of the edge and turn it into a wedge. Okay, and I'm going to take the opportunity to remove some of the paint. So like I said with the front one, sometimes that layer of paint on there just adds enough of a resistance that it makes it not, see, now it slides in perfect. Okay, that's awesome. So let's glue it in, make that a permanent bond. Boom. Done. Okay. Now this guy, he's going to go like this. There's a hole there, and then you just put it on there. That's easy enough. Come on. Get it in that hole, and then he lines up just on the edge there, just like that. This one is going to be similar. You're going to line it up how, like this. Peg for that hole, and then I believe it goes underneath there. Let's see. I want to test fit this one. Sometimes it's a bit of a mystery exactly where it's supposed to line up on the gear. Sometimes it's not. It goes like that. Adds a little bit of pressure, so if the gear wants to move in, this strut will not allow it. So that's perfect. And how I have it grabbed is perfect. Glue there, glue there. Just like that. And we're done. And that side is done. A little bit of thin just to make sure they're all glued together and happy. There we go. Okay. And that's it for that side. So we got to do this side now. Okay, so just like we did on the other one, let's just remove some paint off of there, turn it into a bit of a wedge, test fit. Calling me. There we go. Okay, I'm going to turn this around. Let's glue that in. Okay, now let's get our two pieces. One, and getting this one off of our D. Two. Okay. Same as before. This time, however, I'm only going to put glue on the peg side like this. Just so I can get it in there first. go. And I'll use thin on the other side. There. Okay. This one, I'm going to go like this. It's going to go in like that. Sometimes it's easier to test fit first. Okay, now I know how to hold it. It makes it easy to put in. Alright, so those are in. Okay, so we don't have to worry about this. We can now have it sit on its feet, and I don't have to worry about anything getting damaged underneath. That's nice. So the next thing, we've got to put on our bay doors. So we need our C tree again. We're going to need D19. Crap. Let's see, D19. Are those painted white? No, they are not. So I got to paint those white. So back to this. D19, where'd you go? Alright, let those dry. So, back to our C's. What are we looking for here? C, 20, 17, and 34. Well, here's 34. Okay, 17 is this arm here. Okay, and 20, this big guy. There we go. All right. Let's clean them up. Clean them up. All right. I don't think we got to clean these up. Oh, maybe that one little spot. The rest of it looks good. Okay, so this is going to be interesting because these actually go together. They get connected by the same piece on their little. There's a little hole right there. Okay. And there's a little hole on this one right there. And so these kind of go together like this, and then this guy goes in between them like that. And then it mounts in there. So that's fun. And that's the inner, this is the inner ones. So this guy goes in here, like that. Yeah, like that. And then this guy goes in here. They kind of accent each other, almost like they sit like that, almost already lined up. You kind of got to put the back one in first and then the front one for them to be happy. And then this guy goes down there. Now there's this slot right here, okay? You see that? There and here. That's where this guy pegs in, right there. So I'm actually going to try, let's put that in first, like that, and then come in like that and line it up. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult when you get it all together. But, you know, the fit is precise enough that I should be able to kind of get these lined up and sitting there and then glue them. Okay, so they do sit at slightly different angles. Where's my tweezers go? They sit at slightly different angles. Yeah, not that angle, or that angle. Yeah. Okay, so let's put some glue on this guy. Some glue on this one. There we go. Okay. We are set. One side done. Okay. So next, we're going to need the same 3 pieces, but for the other side. One. 2. And 33 is right here. Right there. Okay. We're almost done. Okay, so let's turn this around. So that I can get to work on this side. Again, let's plop this down in there first. Into his little home. Let's get him into the right slot though. There we go. Okay. It's a little bit tighter fit on this side than on the other, but that's okay. Now that we know what we're doing, I'm just going to go ahead and put the glue on here now. Get that lined up. Go. Oh. There we go, lined up almost right away. Just like that. Now I want to double check this other side, make sure I got it all still together. Now because of the nature of these are actually touching here and here, so I can actually, with the thin set, go in there the funny thing is it's not actually supposed to be touching. So going in there with the thin set was wrong, so they're not supposed to touch. This one is coming out from its hole. It shouldn't be. Stay in your hole. Okay. It's one of those things where, you know, once you get it there, you're supposed to stop playing around with it. Okay, so that's it for those. We still have two more to put on the outsides here. This is the C43. It's our last two pieces on here. Okay. So there's 43 right here. And then we've got 42, and we'll just put him over here for now. And our two pieces off the D tree. Be careful when you take this one off of here. They have it connected in 3 spots, and you don't want to cut off the little peg that it's supposed to be adjoining to or with. Here's our other one. Okay. So, make sure this is clean. I'm just gonna sit flush. We have a little notch here on the side that this is going to go into, like so. Okay. So looking at this, it's going to go to the front side. So if I'm looking at, I got to turn this around. This is going to go in like this, and that little shock is going to go at the back here, and connect somewhere Do I have it backwards? Yes, I do. This has to go here on this side. And then the shock is going to rest on this little arm here. That little rib on both sides. Okay. So, first glue this down. Goes in something like that. It's supposed to go right up against the wall. There we go. Okay, so we'll use a bit of thin on there. Put some down at the bottom here. Get that guy cemented in. We'll call that one done. Make sure it's lined up. Yep. Okay, I'm going to do the same with this side, but I'm going to turn it around here so I can see. Again. Now this time I put glue on that instead of on the shock, so I should be able to just put the shock in there and touch it and we're done. done. Thin just to cement it in. And that's it. Quick check for alignment. Looks good. We're looking good. Okay. So, that's that done. Next, on to pylons. Done. Pylons are done. Weapons are done. Seat is done but needs to be installed. Okay. So, next is the pilot seat. This has now had enough time to set so we can flip her over and set her down on her feet. And then we can get rid of this. I can pull my foam out from here. A little bit of foam residue. All right, pilot seat. We got this done. I showed you guys this guy last time. So it's just gonna go down in there. Pretty straightforward. Glue it on the bottom. That's all it's gonna take. Should just drop in. It should just drop in. And it doesn't want to just drop in. It's a tight fit. Why is it a tight fit? Shouldn't be a tight fit. Damn it. So close yet so far, you know? I don't know if it's an alignment thing because the peg that the seat uses to line it up is made up of the two halves of the seat, or what the deal is. That's a bit better. Can't use that. Just doesn't want to sit down, so bye-bye, peg. There we go. Little bit of a trim and we're fixed. Okay, next we have all of our pieces for the canopy that need to go in. And we've got to backtrack to make sure I don't miss everything or anything. So remember we had built the nose that's going to go up on the front there a long time ago now. That's this guy here. He's got to go on, well, just kind of like that. Just kind of sits in there, just like so. Yep. Okay. Just two little tabs, they fit in those little slots, so that should be easy enough. Should be easy enough. There we go. I'm tempted to really squeeze it down, but I gotta be careful of all my landing bay doors. Okay, now we gotta put the actual canopy glass on. And that sits just like that. Let's make sure it's actually gonna sit down. It doesn't really want to sit down. My glass for that is too tall. It's too tall. It's not sitting proper. Why aren't you sitting proper? Did I not have these in good enough? I guess when I put these glass pieces in, I didn't put them in deep enough. Let's just try that, see what happens. Because that's sitting down as low as it's going to go. Yeah, that's what it is. Well, it's still not perfect. There we go. Nope. We're still way up too high on the one side. Why? The alignment pegs don't want to align. Oh, that's a good one. There's two little pegs, bing and bang, and they need to go into these little holes. They don't want to. They sit fine just like that, but when I put this on, it doesn't want to. It's almost like this is just they've really gone ahead with really trying to get that lined up to fit perfectly. And, well, it's a little too much. You get them to line up at the back, it doesn't line up at the front. See that gap I'm getting there? It just won't go. It just won't sit down. There, got it. But what about my glass pieces? Yeah, I believe my glass pieces are just gonna have to be trimmed. Okay, so it finally went, and that's fantastic. It's a little peg at the front, just really wow. Okay. Are you glued in there? No, you're not. You are now. You're about to be glued in there, bugger. There. Okay. Let's try and get these back down. trying figuring out the orientation again. Okay. Alright, let's see if this will go on there now. We have success. A little bit of pressure. Okay, I'm just going to hold that like this for a moment. Ideally, I would like to tape it down, but I don't have that luxury. All right, front of the canopy is on. That's this guy, done. And the glass, done. So, let's go back to the back where we're dealing with this stuff again. Pilot seat is in. We have the other part of the canopy. Now I always, you guys know this, I don't, hey, that kind of sits kind of funny like that. That's interesting. It's an interesting little problem. I have this arm inside the canopy for it to be closed, but it interferes with the pilot seat. So how do we get over that? Just leave it like that, I suppose, and it won't actually go down, or just get rid of it. Maybe I could bend it. I don't like bending it, but it needs to. Because you bend it, now it's always up. It's always going to do that. So I'm just going to have to get rid of it, I guess. Because I can't do this. Can't bend it up. So that's just the nature of the game. Bye-bye. It's a little shorter than it's supposed to be, but in the end it actually looks fine. And kudos to Meng, it looks absolutely perfect and lined up. It's perfectly lined up. There's no gap. Well, I guess there is because it's open a little bit. But if I wanted to glue it, it'd be perfect. But I don't glue my canopies closed. Right? So, yeah. That's, yeah, that's, I got no complaint about that. Okay. So with that being done, we flip over, we have our ladder. The ladder that I already assembled last time. Okay, I'm going to take this off just for now. Ladder's going to go in right here, okay, with our 3 points going in right there, just like this, and then this guy goes in right against the side. So it's going to go just like that. Trying to get it to line up with that little hole, that little circle that's right on the side there. That's where that is supposed to go. And that's why I fought so hard with it last time and didn't want it to move while the glue set. Okay. Of course, you know, once you put glue on it, suddenly it wants to move around. Okay, so the ladder's on. I'm going to just sit this like this for a moment, and hopefully that'll sit and not move, and we'll set up, because the last thing, well, not quite last, almost last, I'm going to do these. Now, the top side should be nice and friendly to me, and it is. See, just wipe it off. Nice and friendly. Leaves the panel lines. Perfect. Done. The bottom side, as you're about to see, is not nearly as friendly. Right? Not nearly as friendly. I need to reactivate it and clean it up. In order to reactivate it, you need to use the white spirits. Kind of do this, reactivate it a bit, and then give it a wipe. Again, reactivate it and give it a wipe. Reactivate, give it a wipe. Reactivate, give it a wipe. Reactivate, give it a wipe. Do this a little better. Having all this kind of smudgy shading, yeah, it looks cool, but I don't want really super noticeable lines of streaking and stuff. That's not what I'm going for. Okay, but that looks pretty good. All right, so final piece. This one goes on this side. This one goes on this side. And we have an almost completed F-18. What are we missing? We're missing our tiny little guy that goes right in there. Okay, that's this guy. He's ready for his home. He's been waiting for his home for a long time. So patient he is. So patient. Make sure he's straight up and down. Yep, looks good. Are you sure? There we go. Okay. Anything missing? How about these guys? We're missing those. They are sitting over here. They've been waiting to go on to. These guys have been waiting a long time to fit in their little holes. These guys got lots of clear coats on them, so I'm gonna just do this because, well, there's a lot of clear on these. And I don't want any troubles. Fitting them in their holes. One little test fit. I know they're tight. I already know they're tight. Ooh, careful. Press down a little too hard and next thing you know you're having a bad day. I'm not happy with the coat on this. It doesn't match. You can see we got almost flat. So I do want to fix that. Okay. I do want to fix that because that is pretty much just the primer right there. And as you guys can already tell, this is already kind of shiny, right? So I'm going to hit it with a quick little coat of gloss. Okay, the TS13 gloss. Just a very light coat, that's all I need. Okay, just to give it a little bit of a shine to it. Okay. I'm happy with that. I don't need to go crazy because this technically has gloss and then semi-gloss over top of it. Okay, and yet even though the semi-gloss is normally pretty flat, it's, you can tell it's that there's gloss underneath. It's shiny. It's probably one of the shiniest airplanes I've done in a while, as far as that goes. But yeah, even though it does look kind of used, it's going to be a minute or two before this becomes dry enough that I can actually install it. At least without putting fingerprints on it. Everything else is done. Get to the last page and boom, we're done. That's literally the last part to do on, oh, you know what? While we're waiting, he's going to need a fuel tank. Fuel tank needs to go on. That's what's the beauty of this kit. Fuel tank. Boom, right in there. Let's get that lined up on his little pegs. There you go. Boom, he's got a fuel tank. Just like that. He goes on there. All right. Tamiya paint. Love that. Dry. Glue. Holding it from here because I need to put a little bit of pressure. Okay, you want to stay off for now? That's fine. One done. Two done. And voila, we have Maverick's F-18 finished. Yay! Alrighty, she's finished. And there you go. One F-18, 1/48 scale by Meng. Finished. Done. Just like that. Just like that. Well, it's taken some time, but yeah. She's finally finished, guys. Finally done. So, with it finally finished, I'm going to take some still pictures of this sweet little boy. And that didn't sound right at all. I'm going to take some still pictures of this pretty little lady, and I'll upload it to my Instagram, and so you guys can take a look at those if you should so choose. And yeah, and you can head over to my Twitch channel and you can watch me live. Subscribe to me on Twitch, please. And yeah, and if you haven't already, subscribe to me on my YouTube. All the links and all the buttons and everything will be down below there. And you can comment also. That would be really cool. Like and comment and subscribe and all that good stuff. You know, everybody asks for that. So, what's next, you might ask? I know some of you out there aren't going to like this, but next is a Gundam. I'm going to do a Gundam, okay? And that's going to be coming up next. I'm going to be doing the Gundam Mark II, okay? And that's going to be my next one. So, if you want to see that, feel free to watch. If you don't, then just wait for my next airplane build or my next tank, whatever. Yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for putting up with me while I do this and all the little problems I had with it. Yeah, so I guess that's going to be it for now, and that's it for today. And thank you for coming out, and thanks for watching. And we'll see you all in the next one.